Hello, I'm Tom Stapleton, Executive Director of the Wakefield Community Access Television Station. And today, for our second meeting, I have our newest Town Clerk, Betsy Sheeran.
Tommy?
Nice to see you again. How long has it been? How long is it? 7 weeks or something like that?
7 weeks.
Yeah.
7 weeks and 2 days, but who's counting?
Who's counting? Wow. And I know you've been busy getting things squared away.
Straight out.
Hopefully we can go over a few of those things today and let the people know what's going on in town.
Right, and it's only going to get busier.
Oh, my God, I'm sure.
You know, with the election cycle coming up.
I do want to mention, though, I know we talked earlier before the show about this is the wedding season.
Indeed
and
it is.
You must be getting plagued with all kinds of wedding stuff,
well,
whatever it is.
I would say, well, that's something a man would say, wedding stuff.
Wedding stuff, yeah.
I would say average, since I went there in May, probably 4 or 5 a week, average. Sometimes a few more, sometimes a few less, obviously. And I'm sure there'll be a few more in the nice weather.
Yeah.
And then possibly in the fall. It's always a nice time of year, over the holidays. And I'm a Justice of the Peace now.
Okay.
So
very good.
that is available as a service. I'm a notary as well, and have the okay from the governor's office, which is where you have to apply, you know. Through and I will be doing 2 weddings.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't talk about this. I know.
No. Oh,
I
that's
know
great.
we didn't.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really great.
Yeah.
Now, you went to a conference just recently, didn't you? You want
Yes.
to chat about that a little bit?
Certainly, the Massachusetts Town Clerks Association, Rosemary Morgan,
Yep.
and I went down to Plymouth, Massachusetts, for the state convention, and I specifically was interested in, do you want to know what things I went to?
Just, quickly.
Okay,
let
I
people
was
know.
very much interested in the early voting and public records roundtable, and then briefly went to the archives, and then the next day, the 2016 primary and election preparation and administration, and that afternoon they had a repeat of that because that was very, very, because it's time sensitive, and so they had what they call a potpourri, and it was just sitting around, chatting
away,
sharing questions, answers, experiences. So it was very good. It went from a Wednesday noon until a Friday noontime.
So that must have been good for you because it's, something new to you, and
Absolutely.
You can learn a lot from something like that.
It was great. And Michelle Tassinari, who's the legal counsel in at the Secretary of State's office, and she's fabulous anyway. And she's quick, and she's a smart woman. She's great. And she was one of the presenters on the thing that I was really interested in, and that's public records. Because there's a new law coming in as of January 1st, 2017, and it's going to knock the town clerks in this state, well, it's not going to knock them in, it's going to keep them busier than they are now, because it's an unfunded mandate, and public records that must be returned to the person who's seeking the information within 10 business days.
Wow.
And it's I had my first one yesterday. And no, wait a minute. It came in Tuesday afternoon, and we worked on it, and it was sent back yesterday, because they're going. All of the department heads. If you want me to go into what I had to do, I would be happy to do that. If you want.
So that's a 2-day turnaround right there.
2-day turnaround. No, in and out. Something should cross your desk once, in my opinion. It crosses your desk once, and be done with it. Clock it in,
get it out
work
of there.
on it, and move it on, and satisfy the people. But the deal is this. Let's say that you requested something from me. So what I got on Tuesday was a request from a company in Burlington. I won't go into detail on that. About a particular piece of property here in Wakefield, with a list of questions that they wanted. Water and sewer connection, underground storage tank, any health issues, zoning, I can't think of what else. But anyway, there were about 11 things. Well, I can't answer those. How do I know? Water and sewer hookups. Whatever. So what I did was I emailed the department heads in each of the departments that they would cover. Forwarded the request to them, scanned it in, forwarded it to them, and Oh, the town planner as well. Anyway, all of the information, which was fantastic, came back to me as an attachment from each of the 6 departments that I sent the information to. Comes back to me, I compiled the whole thing, and I fired it right back to the person that requested it. Now, I also said, and left a voicemail, call me if you want more. But right now, this is what you're getting. And mercifully, I have not heard from her, so I think we covered everything. But my compliments were, and I told them, they came back to me in record time.
Yeah.
All of the department. It was wonderful.
So
very
that's
cooperative.
That's really a good start, and it looks like you have the routine down pretty good now.
It's a good start, but once this goes into law, we may get a request for everyone that's voted in the past 10 years.
Oh, boy.
Or whatever, from some company down in Virginia, let's say, and we have to provide it to them. Can't really charge much for the time and energy that goes into it.
Right.
So I would prefer to have our responses be electronic. So we're going to save in postage, we're going to save, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to make it as logical as I possibly can without any short shrift on what the information you need, because it's only going to come back.
Right, yeah.
So be done with it,
Get
do
it
it.
done, get it
So
over
that's
with.
the public records law. Yeah.
Well, let's see, let's change the subject a little bit. I just received in the mail my dog tag. So tell us a little bit about that.
All right. Here's the deal on the dogs.
Yeah.
All right. As of May 31st, there's to be a fine assessed because the window of opportunity for registering your Bowsers has passed. As of 8/31, we're not going to take any more. Late fees are not. It then gets handed over, Mass General Law. It will then go to the Animal Control Officer, and he will be hounding them. You should excuse the pun, for them to register their dogs.
Yeah.
So, but I've also got to say, and this is the truth, we are one of the cheapest in the state.
Yeah.
And one of the cheapest fines in the state. All right. Maybe third to lowest in the entire state, And 99% of the people are great, but there are those people that don't feel as though they have to register their dog. No.
Yeah.
And they can have the rabies. You did it. You had the rabies certificate faxed to us.
Yeah.
And it was perfect. We can do it right then and there and
That's
be
the way
done
to
with
do
it.
it, yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And on the dog licenses for next year, what I'm going to do is have the person say your email address on there.
Yeah.
Now we can start doing it back and forth.
Yeah.
Electronically, you don't have to come down. I'm also going to have, as I mentioned in the last show, a debit and credit machine. So I'll be able to take a debit card over the phone.
Yeah.
And not worry, about people going out of the way or making sure that...
Well, it seems realistic at this point, to take advantage of the way we have things now. I mean,
Absolutely.
Everybody's time seems to be taken up, and to get this done right away would be the best thing to do it. And it's over and done with.
Look, there are going to be some snags to everything. Yeah, nothing goes, 100%. But if it can go 99%, I'm a happy camper, and then we deal with the other things, of people that aren't going to take advantage of that. But I want people's emails. That's how people communicate.
Right.
When was the last time you got a written thank you note for something?
Well, not too often.
Recently. Not recently.
Not too many thank yous. So other things I get in the mail, but not too many
Not
thank
too many
yous.
thank you notes. Well, whatever.
But anyways, well, that's good to know. Now, we recently just had Festival by the Lake.
Yes, we did.
We were down there ourselves with the truck and everything, and it was a great morning. The morning was perfect. It kind of got a little bad in the afternoon, but we had a great morning there. It was.
I think most of the people came before.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of closed shop at 1:30.
Yeah.
Because now I figured people are tapering off, and if they wanted to come, we had a booth down there.
Tell me about that. Yeah.
Okay, I had everything there, and made copies of the warrant for the election that's coming up.
Yeah.
The background of it. We had dog license applications, which people took advantage of that hadn't registered their dogs. Requests for birth, death, or marriage certificates, which people took advantage of, and check only. We didn't handle cash. We had voter registration.
Yeah.
We had people checking their voter registration, which I'd run over to Town Hall and check on the computer, came back. By the time they did a couple of the booths, they'd come back and have the answer. We were servicing people like that. I had the 3 registrars on 2-hour shifts. So they came with me, and Mr. Vitale escaped it because it rained in the afternoon, so he didn't have to do the 2 to 4 shift, and he was golfing in the morning, so I figured he deserved it. But Kathy Beaulieu came from 10 to 12 with me, and then Jean Coffin was there from 12 to 1:30. Then we said, we got to get out of here because it was getting windy and rainy and everything. And I didn't want to get things messed up, but we reached out. People filled out the census. As I said, voter registration, dogs. We did birth certificates. We did something else. I can't think of what it was, but it was well worth being there.
Now, forgive me, I don't know the answer to this question, but this is the first time this has been done down there. Is it, or has it been done before?
I believe so. I believe it's the first time.
First time, yeah.
We have to go to the people. And it's customer service. That's what it's all about. And to let them know what we offer. And to meet the registrars. Maybe people don't know we have registrars in town, or why we do, or how they're designated, But we saw a lot of people. I knew a lot of people, of course, and, it was a very enjoyable day. And it was great because Rick Stinson he had his crew bring the tent down, set it up for me, get the table over for me, the chairs and everything, and take them back. And his crew is fantastic, by the way.
Rick does a good job.
Oh,
he really does.
He has 2 people working for him, and I've got to say, I won't get into their last names. I don't want to embarrass them. But it's James Ioshua and Mac O'Keefe. And they're wonderful. And they helped set up. They did it all. They're fabulous at Town Hall. They're just great. They're great.
No, I like Rick. He does a great job.
Ricky's a good guy.
Nice guy.
I like him.
He does a good job. All right, so let's see. Do you want to get into warrants, ballots, absentee ballots, and do you want to do any of that?
Okay. As my sainted grandmother used to say, if you read it in the newspaper, it must be true.
Okay.
Therefore, if you see it on Facebook, it must be true.
Oh, God.
Well, I got to tell you, I know this is not live, and I know by the time it's probably going to be on that the date will have passed. But someone put on Facebook that the absentee ballots were ready at Town Hall.
Oh.
And that was not true.
Because
the warrant's out for the election. Okay, so that's a done deal. But the 6 candidates, each of them had a chance to pull their name off the ballot up until close of business on the 19th. All right, so now we can't have a ballot printed until the close of business on the 19th. All right. So we get past that. We had a sample ballot ready, which was going to cut down. Now we send it off to LHS, that prints the ballots company. Now they're going to get it back to us. We have to verify it and go back to them. Turnaround time is about 10 days. Anyway, I am predicting, hopefully, that we will have in our hands the absentee ballots by Monday the 27th, which is 4 days from now. So next Monday, I hope to have them. If something happens and there's a misprint or something, that's not going to be true. But they'll still have 4 weeks, to do this. As soon as we verify it and we have them in our hot little hands, I'm going to fire off, and I already have it in a draft, right to the item. We're going to put it on the webpage. We're going to put it out wherever we possibly can, and on Facebook, because we have a Facebook page, and just get the information out there. And people can come down. They can come down and get applications now for absentee. They can do that now anyway. But we won't have the physical ballots in until we have them. You just can't.
Well, that just takes time too. But
that's right.
I think it's good that people can hear this and are aware of what the procedure is.
And the procedure isn't just, call the printer and have it done. No, it has to come back and forth, and proofread, and then okay it, and then send it back to them, and then say, run off X number of ballots.
Well, change the subject again. What about the street list? Tell me a little bit
Street list
about
is,
that.
and I have to thank Nancy Bertrand.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a beautiful picture, I think, going on the
on the cover there.
On the cover this year.
That's nice. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I thank Nancy. I dealt with her, got the information over in a file, and that's at the printers right now. Yeah. That's all done. And then the town report, we handed everything in, and that's being done too. But the street list went like that, so we're ordering a few extra this year.
Yeah. And town report?
Town report's all, that's probably being printed now. See, that
Okay.
goes from every department up to Steve Mayo, up to
Yeah.
Steve's, and then they take care of that. And years ago, not years ago, a few years back, he brought to the Board of Selectmen, which would be okay. I believe we get it printed up at the Vogue, which is
Yeah.
great. And I have to thank the Vogue, too,
Yeah.
because I needed some cards printed. And most people won't do that type of printing right now, or you pay more than you might normally pay. And I went up to Steve and I said, any chance we could get this done in the printing shop? Now, I know they're out of school, so I figured we
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
in queue for September, and we had plenty of cards there. He brought them up to Teddy Nicolai, the superintendent. Bing, bang, bong, within 24 hours, we had it. Now, we'll pay for the stock.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the cooperation is fantastic because, and I've always maintained when I was in the selectmen, our police and fire also cover the Vogue.
Yeah.
So I have no qualms about going up and asking them for printing. Oh,
Yeah.
one other thing.
Oh.
No, do you mind? No, I just thought of
Oh,
this.
I
No,
like
it's really
that.
good.
Yeah, yeah.
If when we're voting in one central area,
Yeah, yeah.
every voting family has to be notified in the town. That could be $5,000 worth of postage. But I nabbed Michelle Tasnari, the attorney from the Secretary of State's office, and I
Yeah.
said, if I put a bright yellow, which is the classic attention-getting,
Yeah, yeah.
bright yellow folder in the electric bills,
Ah,
boom, 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 just saying voting takes place at, it would be one location anyway,
yeah.
every precinct would be in one place, would save about at least $4,500, $4,700 because I'd also have them run off at the Vogue.
Ah,
Fold it on their folding machine at the Vogue and then get them down to the only thing I'd have to do is find out, and I'm sure it's a very small percentage of people, most everybody in town gets an electric bill. You may not get a heating bill or what, that might be included in your rental of the condo or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But not too many people say electricity included, because
Yeah,
that can be pricey.
Yeah.
Regardless. So I think that was a cost-saving thing I was thrilled about. And when I came home from the convention, I emailed her immediately because I only had a verbal okay from her. And I said, please put it in writing because I want it. In case anyone challenges me or
Yeah,
says,
yeah.
I don't believe it or something. A doubting Thomas, so to speak.
Yeah, now, let's see, you've been at the job 7 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about the job that you really like? And I mean, something that people would love to hear.
There's probably, I love to work. That's
Yeah.
the first thing, and I don't know any other way to say it. I love to work. I'm a task-oriented person to begin with.
Yeah.
I pride myself on organization. You love what I've done with the place, as they say. It's great. The girls are absolutely, the ladies, I should probably
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
are
yeah.
fabulous to work with. Rosemary Morgan, Denise Oates. We also have Marilyn Bowen, who's the head warden, and she comes in part-time.
Yeah.
And then we have the Adam Pinkney that
Oh, yes, yeah.
moves from play. Fabulous.
Yeah, yeah.
So with my extra pair of hands, Adam's extra pair of hands, Marilyn coming in, I mean, it's been unbelievable what we've gotten done. And still carried on with the public and served the public immediately.
Yeah.
No waiting, no fuss, no muss. Be done with it. I love it. I love every part of the job.
Where do you come up with the changes and the different ideas from? Does that come just from, looking at something and changing it? Or do you get information? How do you make things better?
All right. For instance, we had a lot of bound books.
Yeah.
And I said, there's a retention thing. There's certain things you can't get rid of.
Yeah.
You have to keep some in perpetuity, all right? Others for 22 months. It's a very odd number, but be that as it may. I again went to the Secretary of State's office,
Yeah,
wrote
yeah.
it in, but won an answer, got the answer, and we ditched because we didn't have to keep them. Bylaws from Deerfield.
Yeah.
Who cares? Nobody cared about them. They want the ones that affect Wakefield and people coming in,
yeah.
but not this other stuff, so we could ditch that. I then we have to keep voter registrations in perpetuity. So I got 25 boxes, and we packed and put in a safe, secure location 17 years, of, all the way back to 1989.
Mm-hmm.
They're boxed, marked, down, easily accessible, safe, up off the floor, in case there's water damage, but we're not going to get it. I know what I want to do. Now, packing things up, you don't have to be a Rhodes Scholar to know how to do that. But when it comes to techie things, I know what I want to do, but I'm not sure how to get there.
Yeah.
So I rely on the IT department.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a fabulous girl in engineering. She's unbelievable, Katie Lafferty. She's fabulous, and she loves it, so she works with us too. It's everybody working with
Yeah, it sounds like you have a good crew there, and everybody's chipping in, and it's nice to have a well-balanced place where everybody knows their job and knows what they have to do, and just
and
gets
knows
it
how to
done.
do it.
And knows how to do it. Yeah, gets it
I
done.
can't thank, well,
Yeah.
Mike Collins from engineering, right back with the information on that. I'll go back to the public records thing.
Yeah.
Mike Collins right back, Ricky right back, Chief Sullivan right back. Chief Smith didn't have to be involved in it. Ruth Clay right back, the assessors
Yeah.
right back. Just
Everybody just cooperating.
everyone was
Yeah,
great
yeah,
because let's be done with it type thing, you know. So it's great. It's a wonderful place to work.
Uh-huh.
The people are great. They're just nice people.
Well, I mean, on that note, I think we've covered everything at this point. I know when we do our next show, there'll be other things that you want to get into.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be after the
It'll be after the election.
after the election, obviously.
Right, and then I'd like to get into early voting on that. I'd
Okay.
like to, maybe you and I could recap the election type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
And then early voting I'd like to talk about, and one other thing I'd love to talk about that's pulled in with the voting, but I want to get absolutely all of the information. You know, I don't want to
Sounds
say
good,
anything
yeah.
that, you know.
Right, yeah, wait.
Absolutely.
Gonna wait.
We have time.
We have time, great.
Time and energy.
Well, thank you very much. Again, I really enjoyed doing this with you.
Thank you, Tommy. I
so
love being
comfortable
here.
and
I
so
know.
easy to talk to. And,
As you are. You're a
and,
wonderful interviewer.
Works out pretty good.
Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you.
surprised you can get a word in edgewise. Oh, no, I didn't think that. Somebody said that to me.
Well, I'll just jump in when I can, that's all.
Yeah, it's hard, but you'll get it. Yeah.
All
Thank you
right,
so
well,
much.
Thanks very much, and
Yeah.
see you in a month or so.
Absolutely.
All right.
Right.
Bye
Bye-bye.
now.
Thank you.